Brittany, Persuasive speech. Okay, so looking at these words, how many of you can say you've known someone who has suffered from either self-confidence issues, negative body image, or an eating disorder? Even if your answer is no, it's still important to know that negative body image resulting in 3 major illnesses is increasing year after year in not only the overall population but on college campuses as well. One way to combat this issue is by instituting healthy body campaigns and interventions on campus, specifically here at Wake. So as I mentioned earlier, negative body image or having a skewed vision of what you actually look like as an individual is often the starting point or trigger for more serious illnesses. So many individuals with negative body image don't see themselves as good enough or don't put enough emphasis or focus on the positive attributes that they display. According to a 2014 Real Body Image survey conducted by the Today Network and AOL, 60% of women and 78% of teen women have something bad to say about their appearance. Also, this study focuses primarily on how long an individual spends on their appearance per week. So as you can see, teen girls spend the most at 7.7 hours, while teen boys are at the lowest at 4 hours. One thing that this study goes on to illustrate is that even though men and boys have spent a lot less time on their appearance than women, year by year, or year after year, these hours are increasing even among men, and they're spending more time on their appearance. In a 2014 Mirror study, which is a worldwide organization dedicated to raising awareness about eating disorders, states that the most prominent, in terms of sufferers per million of Americans, it shows that anorexia, binge eating, and bulimia are like the most prominent, with bulimia being obviously, out of all of them, the most prominent. And the study also goes on to report that year after year these numbers are continuously increasing, which is a pretty concerning statistic. In terms of negative body image and eating disorders on college campuses specifically, this is also a rising number as well. In a 2013 Health Mind study conducted by the Daily Free Press, it shows that 15% of all undergraduates test positive for eating disorders, and that this number continues to increase year after year, and as well, or in addition, it goes on to state that females are a little more likely to suffer than males. However, males continue to be sufferers as well. One of the most prominent of these 3 illnesses is anorexia, which is a mental health disorder leading to severe health consequences. According to the Office on Women's Health and U.S. Government Department of Health, anorexic people have an intense fear of gaining weight, constantly think about food, limit their food intake, and use food as a tool for control or to ease anxiety or depression or anger and things like that. And this is also a very disturbing photo. Same with that. In addition, another issue or another illness that's very prominent is bulimia among college campuses. In a 2010 report conducted by Kyla Boyce, who's a registered nurse and MD at the University of Michigan, it was recorded that 3% of college-aged individuals are actually bulimic, and this continues to be an increasingly prominent illness on college campuses. As the number of individuals grow suffering from these 3 illnesses on college campuses and universities, we need to take action. Specifically here at Wake Forest, this has been a problem among students. In the past, Wake has instituted various campaigns and made efforts to combat these issues. However, there needs to be a little bit more done. In the past, Wake has instituted a campaign called Wake the Beautiful. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. But basically, Wake the Beautiful was held once last spring and once last fall, and both just a one-day kind of event where they brought in local individuals individuals from the community, such as registered dietitians, as well as counselors from the counseling department, to come and give advice and give talks to those individuals who attended. In addition, another thing that Wake has done to try to make efforts to combat these issues is through the health and exercise department here. So in an interview with Sharon Woodard, who's the head of the health and exercise department here at Wake, she said that one thing that they do is they implement passive education, for example, concerning these issues. For example, in health and exercise science classes, health and exercise science classes, they talk about these issues in a more passive way. And the reason why she said that they do this is because they don't want to push the issue at people, but they'd rather open up like a more general dialogue. So basically, there needs to be a little bit more done. So I am proposing a plan to fill in the gaps where these campaigns have kind of missed out or haven't had much success. So my plan would be to implement a more consistent or persistent type of program. So maybe creating a club that meets at least once a week where individuals, or like an open forum where individuals could come and break up into smaller groups and have more intimate group discussions that they could feel more open to talk about issues and similar stories and stuff like that. One counter argument that some people would say about instituting healthy body campaigns would be that they don't yield long-term success and that they're kind of just unsuccessful. However, this is not the case. For example, with the Dove Real Body campaign, in a 2014 article by the Huffington Post, it talks about the success of the Dove campaign, which really changed the way individuals as well as the general population view the narrow definitions of beauty. And even this campaign, which was started in 2004, even today still yields success and yields long-term success. So I would say that that's false. Even if you don't know someone or you think you don't know someone who suffered from negative body image or an eating disorder, this continues to be a very prominent and severe issue on campus, specifically at Wake. And one way that I think is really important, one thing that's really important that needs to be done is implementing healthy body campaigns in order to reverse these or reduce these effects on campus.